Okay, hi. This is a behind the scenes video that I said I would do on my most recent upload, which is a little short animation called, what is it called? Mayo versus the Salesman. So, what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be looking over the character models that I made and used for this animation, and then I'll probably go over the actual animation itself towards the end. I'm not going to be able to actually look over the animation file itself, unfortunately, because that got corrupted a while ago. I don't know how it got corrupted. I really don't, but it did. Um, so yeah. First off, we've got Mayo. Mayo is the main character. She's very short, very smug, little blue thing. I don't know. Her model is, yeah, this is the model. Looks very complicated, but I promise it's not. So let me. Okay, so I've got Mayo's model all set back to its default pose. Where are her hands? There we go. So I can show you how I rigged her up, uh how I got a lot of the visual effects to look with her, like her eyes, her mouth, that kind of thing. So first off, let's just go from like a top down thing. So first we got the head. So Mayo's head. The rig that I use is the basic Rigify rig that comes built in with Blender. So I didn't use any fancy like add-on, or I didn't like rig everything myself. You know what? Actually, let me take her out of rest position and just there we go. Okay, so first off, yeah. So in order to rotate, if you look back at the original short, you'll notice that every time that she moves her head and rotates it, the actual like silhouette of the head itself never changes besides just flipping directions. So I have a little control button up here that allows me to just flip the head. Um, you know, so um, anytime that I like rotate her actual uh her head, I'll rotate the face as much as I possibly can, and then I'll just manually correct the rest of the head to make sure that it's like facing the camera in the right way. So if she looks to the right, then her hair spikes are always going to face to the left, and then vice versa. So if she looks to the left, then her hair spikes face to the right. So that's kind of a principle that I stuck with when animating. The eyes, basic, you know, uh, just basic spheres connected to a lattice. So I just use that lattice deform to my advantage. Same with the eyelids, just a half of a sphere. You know, so in order to make a blink, I decided to just add a black stripe to the top of the sphere, so that all I gotta do is just like quickly rotate it down. Like I only do this in like a couple frames, so it doesn't like kind of give away that it's like just like helps keep the illusion that she's actually blinking, that it's two separate eyelids coming together instead of just the one on top. I can rotate. I don't think I actually rotated her eyelids that much, like expression wise. Now that I think about it, I'll have to go back and look through the original short to see if I did. Um, yeah. So, in order to give her eyes a little more expression, I added a little button here, so I can, when I scale it, it scales down the lattice itself, which will then in turn scale the eyes. So I can give her these like funny expressions. Did I make it so that I could? No. Okay, so I can't actually. Oh, I can. That's right. I forgot. Okay, yeah, I can actually rotate the eyes. Yeah. Okay. Did I even use this? I don't think I actually rotated. I can't remember. The yeah, the eyebrows and then the cheeks and stuff. Those were done with live booleans. So I have, okay, well, first I've got the actual, oops. First I've got the actual, the eyebrows rigged up. These are actually a grease pencil object. So, like, I go into grease pencil, find like a, and then I just, oop, where is it? Oh, time offset. Yeah, I can just draw in the scene. I can draw a 3D brush stroke into the scene, and then I just draw a couple of different frames for the eyelids to change, and then I just apply those to, or I set those up with a time offset modifier, and so that allows me to scrub through the frames that I selected and pick which eyebrow shape I want. And then of course I rigged that modifier up with a driver so that I just move the associated bone and it just goes through the different shapes, just scrubs through the different frames that I have set up. Okay, so then yeah, the actual eyebrows. So if I wanted Mayo to look mad, I would use one of these eyebrows, and then I would, just oops, make it look mad. But you'll notice, wait, how are the eyes actually like how is it masking over the eyes? So I have a live same with the cheeks. I've got a live boolean object. So all it is literally is just an object that is invisible to the camera in the final render. It's just a mesh, um, and then I just rig it up to the bone, and then I just apply a live boolean so that when it intersects with the eye, it just cuts through it and leaves the shape behind it. I do have to like be careful about like the camera angle and everything, because if it's not like if you're not looking at the face from the right angle, suddenly it starts to look a little wonky. That's why I was very very careful with making sure that she is facing the camera in the right direction. So her head is always going to be facing the camera in some way. Like you're never going to see Mayo from this angle or this angle. Like never. Like you'll only see her from the front facing silhouette. So if yeah, so that yeah, so something like that, and then I would like move the mouth to like the other side. I can like, oops, that's the wrong. Oh, that doesn't actually scale the eyes. Oh, I didn't realize that. Anyway, yeah. So, um, yeah, the mouth is actually the exact same as the booleans I use for the eyes. It's just it's another live boolean object that I just have rigged up to a separate rig. So all it does is just it cuts through the head to leave the shape of the mouth. So I can just just move the bones, and then I can give her whichever expression I want. So that's really it. It's simple. It does like I'm pretty sure that booleans are not really meant to be used live. So like, like anytime that you like use a boolean modifier, you would then apply it. So if I do that now, it would then, okay, well it kind of messed up because it's the subdivision surface and everything. But whenever you just add a boolean modifier to an object, you're doing that because you want that object to have that shape, that cutout shape permanently. I'm using it live, so it does lead to. Wait, that was it. Okay, I was gonna say it does lead to some like shading issues, but I guess if I just flip the order of the modifiers, okay, never mind. It's never mind. um, oh yeah, and then for the inside, the of the mouth, the inside color, I just took a black, like a pitch black material, moved it to the top of the material list, and then it just it shows, it displays that material through the boolean. Lovely feature that Blender has. Oh yeah, okay, her body. So I'm bringing this up because if you'll notice in the short, sometimes she has these pockets and sometimes she doesn't. So I just had when I rigged up Mayo and I rigged up her body and everything, I added a secondary body mesh, and so with the use of shape keys, I can just switch between them. So whenever I wanted to have pockets, I can just keyframe the shape key. So if I like go a couple frames back, boop, now she has pockets. Yeah, I do have to switch it like within like one frame, otherwise it's you can have this weird like in between status state in between state. Sorry. Same with the hands. In order for them to fit in the pocket, I just added a shape key that shrinks them down, and then I can keyframe that. I think that's really it for Mayo. Actually, I think that's it. I'm trying to think. The eyelashes are simple curve objects. These little blurry lines are also grease pencil tools, and I could have sworn that I had them rigged up. I think they accidentally got unrigged in Mayo's base file. So like this bone here is supposed to like toggle them on and off. It's an easy fix, so I'll go back and do that later. Actually, I don't have to because I updated Mayo's model for the next video. I don't know when it's gonna be, but I've got a better version of Mayo's model now. But yeah, this was Mayo, so I guess I will move on to Alan's model. So Alan is a lot more simple than Mayo. He uses the exact same face rig though, so the exact same. Let me actually. There he goes. Now you can actually see him. Yeah. So he uses the exact same like Boolean method for like the cheeks and the eyebrows. He exact same type of like lattice method, and then I can like rotate the eyelid. I literally just reused parts of Mayo's rig and parts of Mayo's model for him because it's just faster to do it that way. Got some shape keys, so I can change the pupil, shrink it down, make it, like that thin kind of pupil slit, like cats have or something, make him look scary. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, shape keys. Yeah, they are. Yeah, so I just added a driver to them. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, added a driver and hooked it up to the bone, so it moved the bone. Whatever. Basic Blender stuff. The body. So when you look through the animation, you'll notice that Alan is constantly kind of like wiggling and like my intention was for him to look very like liquidy, Originally I wanted him to be like kind of made out of smoke, so I tried to give him like a type of material that would do that. I didn't really like how it looked, and also I was worried that it would eat up render time, which it absolutely would. But I can show you what that would have looked like. Like I do kind of miss him kind of being made out of smoke. Okay, well that yeah, it would have been, yeah. So like I just would have had to like play around with that. Yeah, like it would have looked cool, I guess, but I don't know. It definitely would have eaten up a lot of the render time and just been a little trickier to work with in general, I think. But overall, I'm happy with how he is now. He's a more like liquidy. I always kind of thought of him as like just like a thick ink. That's kind of what he looks like to me. Yeah. So in order to get that kind of like that like wiggly, liquidy look, I added a displacement modifier, and displacement modifier is just got your object, add a displacement modifier, and then it just like yeah, whatever like texture you apply to it, it will then displace the mesh in that shape. So very simple. Smooth it out. There you go. Like it's got a lot of uses just to like look. Now it looks like it's like I don't know, block of cheese or something. Block it like a realistic Minecraft sponge, I guess. I don't know. See if I can. Yeah, there we go. Now it's a Minecraft sponge. I don't know. It's SpongeBob. Yeah. So I did that. Only I hooked up this little empty object here, and so what I do is I applied a constant rotation to it, and I hooked it up so that every time that the object moves, And anytime that Alan himself moves, so if I like rotate his head or like any part of his body, it will trigger that displacement. So that way he's constantly moving or constantly wiggling. So yeah, I just hooked it up. Let me see if I can actually pull. Yeah, so for the displacement coordinates, I just selected the object, selected the actual empty object, and then there you go. Now he's wiggling. Um, and then of course he's got his briefcase, which he keeps all of his jams and jellies in, and his gun apparently. The actual briefcase that I used in the actual short wasn't able to open, but now it is. I fixed it after the fact. Can I actually? Oh, I think I. Yeah, no, yeah. So I can actually like animate it now if I want to. So like in like a later short, if I use Alan again, I'll definitely be able to like have him open his suitcase up and like show us what's inside, so he can show us all the jams and jellies that he's trying to sell. Um, so I didn't make the suitcase. I should point this out. The suitcase came from this add-on that Blender has. It's an amazing add-on. I believe it's still built in. I believe it is. I could be wrong, but it's called Blender Kit. So basically, you just go to the Blender Kit website after you install the add-on. You make an account. The account's free, and they got like a lot of like free assets. A lot of the assets are like you got to pay for them, so you can do that if you want. But there's enough like free assets, so I can just drag and drop it into the scene. And like a lot of them are like trying to look photorealistic, so it's great. You can also get like a lot of like different materials, which are all free. You got entire scenes you can just like boot up if you want. Got a bunch of HDRIs, like a lot of really good stuff. And so I just that's how I actually. Oh, what's the phone? Ah, there it is. Yeah, so like you see, boom, I just got an old style rotary phone. Actually, I'm gonna save that model because I can't. Whatever. I might use it eventually. I don't know. But I did credit Blender Kit in the credits of the short because I don't want to just go on without uncrediting them. This is where I got Alan's pistol as well. So yeah, yeah, that's Alan. I will say, since I can't actually show you the animation file itself that I used to animate everything, um, I can't show you. I, eh, eh, if I could show you, then I would show you all the assets, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I got this from Blender Kit. I got the bed from Blender Kit. I got May0's kitchenette, the computer, like every asset in May0's apartment that isn't just the room itself. Like every asset I got from Blender Kit, because I am not good at making assets appear photorealistic. And Blender's frozen up again. Okay. um. Yeah, it doesn't look like it in the recording, but Blender is just giving me that like frozen white screen. Lovely. But I think that's about it. I will. How long has the video been going for? 20-ish minutes. Okay, so I will. Hold on. Okay, so I can't actually open up the file of May0's apartment. It's a separate file from the actual animation file. But I don't know why I can't open it up. I'll figure it out, but I can't open it right now. So what I can do instead is I will do what I said I would do earlier, and I will go through the actual animation and kind of frame by frame and just kind of show you guys. I don't know, just talk about it. Just anything that I think is interesting enough to talk about, I will talk about it. I'm not gonna include any of the audio in the recording though, since you can just go and watch the actual short. Yeah, all the music for the short I got from YouTube's audio library, a lot of sound effects too. There were a couple that I made myself, like Alan knocking on the door. Yeah, Yeah. So started the short. Mayo's just on her computer and she's looking at this stupid TF2 meme. I think I just typed in dank memes into Google and just picked this meme, this image. I don't know who made it, unfortunately, so I can't credit them. That's on me. But I'm pretty sure that if you just type in dank memes into Google and look through the images, you'll find it. Like I'm 90% certain that that's what I did. Um, shoot, I should have. I mean, memes get like reshared so much anyway. Like I don't. It might actually be kind of impossible to find out who actually originally made this meme, so I'm not really gonna worry about it. But yeah, so Mayo's just looking at memes, and then she gets a knock on the door. Here's actually an example of what I was talking about. So you'll notice Mayo is looking to her right, our left, and her hair spikes are facing to our right, screen right. And then when we cut to the next shot, uh, spikes are facing to the left because it's supposed to be the back of her head. All I did was I just like rotated her head. I I just rotated her head so her eyes are in the back, and I just made sure that the silhouette of her hair was looking at camera. And then I just rotated her her face, and again I just made sure that the hair spikes are still looking. What is that arrow? Looking in the right direction. Literally it. And then yeah. Let me think. She opens the door. She's just looking at Alan. He's being all scary. And then so something so the entire like plot of the short with Mayo just absolutely just it looks like I drew a mouth on him right there. Oh. Anyway. Yeah. So I wanted Mayo to be a kind of Bugs Bunny type character, and what I mean by that is that if you go back and look at like a lot of the original Bugs Bunny cartoons and everything, Bugs Bunny doesn't really like bully people for the sake of bullying them. He most of the time he only does it because they started it. Bugs Bunny does a lot of stuff in retaliation only. Um I'm sure that there are examples in cartoons where he doesn't do that, but like for a lot of the time, Bugs Bunny is like, "Oh, you started it. All right, I'm gonna finish it." So that's what I wanted Mayo to kind of be like. So she's just minding her own business, and then this weird guy shows up trying to sell her junk. Um, she rightful she rightfully, oh yeah, these little like light effects were done with a grease pencil too. So I just kind of drew them in and then looped them. But yeah, so Mayo rightfully shuts the door on him, which to anybody I think is like a very blatantly obvious social cue. Hey, go away. So she's like, all right, well that's done with. That was weird. And then he shows back up. So like at this moment he's crossed the line. He's somehow made his way into her place of living. So from this moment on, everything she does is in retaliation. So like in my opinion, everything she does is like justified for that reason. Like she's kind of justified for what she does. Like like some guy just appears in your house after you told them go away. I she just punches him in the in the nether region. Um, so yeah, this gag here where Alan's like, "Are you insane? Why'd you do that?" And then she just hands him a card that says, "Hi, I'm clinically insane." There was like that was the first ever gag that I came up with while I was creating the character, because I was drawing the first ever sketches I did of Mayo. I was like, okay, what do I want this character to be like? She looks crazy. Just by the way I was drawing her, she looked very like weird and insane. So I'm like, okay, wouldn't it be funny if like anytime that anyone's like, "Are you insane?" You know, she just hands them a card and it's like, "Yeah, I'm officially insane. Thank you for asking." I can't find the actual sketches I did of Mayo. Oh, where are they? Come on, come on. They're here somewhere. Ah, there they are. Yeah. So these were the first ever sketches of Mayo I did. Originally, she was gonna have like a front facing view, so her hair was gonna be kind of spiky in the front. Oh yeah, she was gonna have like hair in the back too. I forgot. Uh, yeah. So that's Mayo, and then later on, I kind of like refined her design. I got rid of the front view, and I just ended up sticking to the side view as the silhouette profile that you always see. I also got rid of the hair in the back. I don't remember why exactly. I think I might have just been a little tricky to model in, so I'm just like, yeah, screw it. I'm getting rid of it. And then this was right before I actually made her model, so I wanted to try to like refine her silhouette a little more. I don't like this now that I'm looking at it. I really don't like it. So I'm glad I did not go with it. Um, and then yeah, this was the final result. So this is Mayo. I will admit I did take a lot of inspiration from Jax from the Amazing Digital Circus with her like mouth and everything. Yeah, I was just like, oh, I forgot to go over the teeth in a model. The teeth is just like a half of a sphere inside of her mouth with just teeth lines drawn onto it. That's literally it. Um, yeah. So Mayo is like, hey, I'm clinically insane. And then Alan even says like, all right, I can tell that I'm not wanted. He has a chance to just back off and leave. He has a chance to do that. Like it has been made abundantly clear to him that he is in the wrong here. And then he makes it worse. He just pulls out a gun. And he's like, it's so ridiculous because he's like, hey, I'm holding you at gunpoint. Buy my stuff. And Mayo just kind of looks at us like, really? This guy? It's like he's still sticking with this. So then it's like, all right, what should she do next? She just body slams him. And then credits roll. I don't know. Originally the short was gonna end a lot differently, and there was gonna be this whole like reference to this TikTok trend where it's like, hey, would you like it's kind of like a would you I don't know if it's like a would you rather question, but it's like, hey, you can be immortal and you get like $1 million or something, but you have this immortal snail that chases after you and tries to kill you with just one touch. And it's like you're always being chased by it. Would you accept that offer? So I'm like, okay, wouldn't it be funny if the immortal snail just bursts into the room at the end, and then Alan freaks out. He's like, no, not you. I thought I had more time. And then I don't know. I don't remember what would happen. But I like originally that was going to be the ending, and I'm like, maybe I should leave it a little more. Uh, I don't know. Like I didn't know if like I didn't know if like the general audience would get the reference. Like I didn't really know how many people would understand the joke and how many people wouldn't understand the joke. I think it had a chance of still being funny just seeing this scary tall guy freaking out over a tiny snail. Like I guess it still would have worked. Just it just would have fallen into like kind of like random humor. I don't know. I I don't know. I was also kind of being lazy and I didn't want to like animate anymore, so I just ended it there. uh, but yeah, that's the short. I definitely do want to do more with these characters. Like I have ideas. I just haven't done anything yet because I'm still working on the pilot episode for my actual main project, which is an animated series. It's going to be called Welcome to the Boarding House, about a bunch of characters that live in a boarding house and they get into wacky shenanigans. um, yeah, I think that's it. Um, I went over the characters. Yeah, let's just end off. Let's just end off on this on this frame. All right, thanks for watching. I'll try to upload more. I'm just streaming on Twitch. I'm like I'll stream my progress working on my pilot episode. I stream daily, so if you want to come by and watch, you can definitely do that. I don't have a set time, but I'll just stream like throughout the day. Stream during the day, during the night. So just kind of stop by if you want to check out what I'm working on and hang out. So yeah, I'm gonna go edit this video and then upload it. Hopefully it's not too long for YouTube to handle uploading.